Everyone, welcome back to Planning with Ravyn. I'm so excited for today's video. It's been about a month since I've uploaded a video. So, I'm so excited. We are so close to hitting 100 subscribers. So I definitely appreciate you all for coming along this journey with me. You have no idea what it means to me to see the support that I have for my subscribers. So I definitely appreciate you guys for tuning into my videos, providing me feedback via email, comments, and such like that. There's a lot that's going on right now with COVID in the United States and also other countries, and just, being quarantined, right? So might as well do a video. And so that kind of leads us into today's video. Actually, you have people who are, hoarding household items in the stores, and it's just kind of like getting outrageous. Stores being closed down, people being limited for the items that they can get finally now, right? Because there's so many people who are unable to actually get these essential items because, the stores are not stocking items like they should be, unfortunately. So today we're going to talk about 5 household items that are actually worth stockpiling. And so one of the items that's actually worth stockpiling would be cleaning supplies. Cleaning supplies. It's almost impossible to have too much cleaning supplies. Definitely don't quote me on that, but cleaning supplies is super essential for everyday life, everyday healthy life for that matter. And, regardless of COVID-19, having cleaning supplies on deck is just great for flu and cold season, just in general. And it's like really crappy that we have people, who are hoarding bleach and Clorox wipes right now in the stores. However, there are other items that you can use that's actually considered items that you can use that will kill the coronavirus. And we're going to talk about 3 of those items here today. And this is, 3 items that is besides bleach and Clorox wipes. First item, soap and water. So soap and water, like the friction when you scrub with soap and water is actually enough to break down the coronavirus envelope or the coronavirus protective envelope. This is according to Consumer Reports. So just, a little bit of elbow grease and soap and water, it'll get the job done. And these, this is like our everyday items, you guys. So soap and water, that's it. The second item is going to be also alcohol is a great option, like the hand sanitizer and alcohol is a great option as long as it's 60% or more of alcohol in it. So definitely check those. If you go and you get the ones from the dollar store, they actually have some that have 60% alcohol in them. You just want to make sure that you're double checking prior to purchasing the item just because it's a cheap item. When it comes to your actual surfaces, you want to use rubbing alcohol itself to break down the virus or just to break down chemicals on your surfaces, on your tiles, your counters, things along those lines. 70% will get the job done for those surfaces. 60% for hands, 70% for your surfaces. The third item on our list is going to be, so instead of Clorox, you can actually use certain Lysol products. So I'm going to read this one actually. So the EPA's list of qualified coronavirus disinfectants also includes numerous consumer products from Lysol. And the reason why I'm actually reading this is because this came directly from the EPA's list, and I wanted to provide you guys some options because I'm a person who loves Clorox wipes, and so I'm like, what's another substitution for something that's very similar to Clorox wipes? And of course, their competitor, Lysol. So for Lysol disinfecting spray, that's something that typically that everyone has. I keep Lysol disinfectant spray in my kitchen, in my room, at work. That's just like on deck, 12 months, all year round. Lysol multi-surface cleaner pourable. So this is a great option. Actually, I use this in my kitchen and also in my bathroom. It's a great option to have. It smells good. They have different types of flavors. And it's just super convenient to have despite, not being able to use Clorox. And then the third one within the Lysol products that we're going to talk about today will be the Lysol Power Bathroom Cleaner. You guys, I love this freaking cleaner. It does work. It does magic on, tubs, sinks, like toilets, like all of that. I actually use this item. It smells amazing. I love the smell of bleach, but sometimes, bleach can definitely be overbearing for some people. So, if you are one of those people who's like, I don't care for the smell of bleach, but you still want to use bleach in your cleaning products, then the Lysol Power Bathroom Cleaner is definitely an option for you. It's a spray. Um, it does not just smell like bleach. It, has a different type of aromas. So you can definitely, use those as an option. But I'm telling you guys, like, I highly recommend this option. They sell it at like your local stores, Walmart, Costco, things along those lines. So definitely check that out. And there's a couple of more products actually that Lysol has. It's not just the three that we went over today, but they have a lot of different products that you can use as a substitution for Clorox. And I know that I keep saying substitution for Clorox, but it's really not a substitution because you don't have to use Clorox wipes or Clorox products. There are other products that you can use, like the three that we went over today, essentially. All right, so our second stockpiling option is going to be white rice. Surprise, surprise, but white rice is amazing. If white rice is actually stored properly, that's like the key word here. You have to store it properly. It can last for decades, and this is actually according to our Utah Extension Services. This has been tested and it's been proven. So white rice it's filling as well, right? So that's always a great option, even like for meal prepping. So as long as it's in an air-free container and it's stored at 40 degrees or less, then you're basically golden for being able to stockpile that item. So rice is also a helpful ingredient just to have on hand when you're preparing like meals or you're planning to like meal prep. So some meals that I are like my go-to meals for meal prepping. I'm just gonna share them with you all just so you have ideas. You can do like chicken, broccoli, and white rice. That's always a great option to have. That's like a healthy option. You can do like burrito bowls with like corn, black beans, pico de gallo with some cilantro, a little bit of lime, things like that. And that's a great filler. One of my favorites is the teriyaki chicken bowl. That's like amazing. You can do chicken, like teriyaki chicken, pineapples, and white rice. That's a great option to have for meal prepping, right? Or just to have just for dinner. And of course, the list goes on. That's just a couple of items you can use as far as making meals with white rice. And then for our third option is going to be prescription medications and like just basic medical supplies. So basically the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, they actually advise like individuals who are at like high risk groups, like people who are 60 or older, with certain medical conditions, basically, people who are at risk, like high risk for the coronavirus, to have an extra supply of their daily prescription medications on hand. If there is an outbreak that's in your community, you may not be able to leave your house to get your medication, and that's the last thing you want, is to have like a serious issue that's not even from like the outbreak or COVID or something like that. So like for basic medical supplies, if you get sick, you want to have the medications and medical supplies on hand. These are things that are like very simple, like tissues, saline sprays, fever reducers, NyQuil, just things to basically keep you comfortable in a situation that we may have like an outbreak or something along those lines. One thing I do recommend when it comes to your medication stash and your prescription stashes is just making sure that you stay up on those expiration dates, right? Because you want to make sure that you're not using old medicine. Yeah, it takes a while for medication to expire, but you want to stay on top of that by basically using the older medication and prescriptions first. And then number 4, so the fourth item that is definitely worth actually stockpiling on would be frozen fruits and vegetables. So frozen fruits and vegetables, that's a great alternative to fresh. Like that's like the best you're gonna get, besides eating fresh vegetables and fresh fruit. So since the quality definitely degrades over time, it's very similar to the medication it's very similar to the conversation we had with medication, so just make sure that you're using the oldest fruit, oldest vegetables first, and then definitely rotating your stash in your freezer. When it comes to like the frozen fruit, there's all types of fruit that you can actually store in the freezer, like berries, blackberries, strawberries, peaches, bananas, nectarines. The list goes on. One thing I would recommend is doing flash freezing. That way you don't get big chunks of fruit stuck together. So, like just me personally, I actually buy fruit and I freeze my fruit. And there has been a couple of times where I forgot to do flash freezing, and I did have like big chunks of fruit. And when you're rushing to make protein shakes in the morning before work, it's not always fun. So flash freezing will definitely help you avoid those type of situations because it's not easy, like undoing the fruit while in a rush. So yeah, definitely do flash freezing. And if you're not too sure what flash freezing is, look it up. It is amazing. You'll get some tips and tricks on how to do flash freezing. It's essentially just making sure your fruits don't get stuck together when you don't want a huge chunk of fruit just stuck together. And then when it comes to like the actual vegetables itself, so you can basically use any vegetable, like you can freeze any vegetable except the ones that have a high water content, because what happens is it'll just get soggy. So we don't want soggy vegetables. That's not a great experience, and that is definitely not secondary to fresh produce. So like a couple of vegetables that have high water content would be like celery, lettuce, cabbage, radishes, so things like that. Basically, anything besides the items I just mentioned are definitely worth stockpiling and freezing. And then last but not least, I told you guys I had 5 things that's definitely worth stockpiling today. So number 5, definitely one of my favorites, pet food and medications. Don't forget about your furry friends, y'all. Especially while we're being quarantined, it's always nice to have a companion if you're not in a relationship, or even if your partner is just getting on your nerves because you're stuck in the house for so long. It's always nice to have those furry friends. So don't forget about them. Stock up on extra food and medication for your pets, just to keep your companions happy, well fed, and of course healthy. There you have it. 5 things that's actually worth stockpiling. I definitely want to thank you all for tuning in to Planning with Ravyn. Be safe out there. I'll see you guys next time.